Hello, everybody. This is the Fight Card Podcast. This is sPidA, and once again, I'm being joined by Billy Bear here at Ohana West. Billy, how are you, man?
Hey, man, doing great. Thanks again for having me on, man. I was looking forward to it. Had a great time the first time around, Gary.
No, for sure, and I do appreciate you once again. I know the time frame as far as scheduling is kind of out there, man. I mean, everybody seems to be busy, including myself. So making a few minutes for me, man, I do appreciate you. It's been about 2 weeks, man. Actually, it's October 11th. You know, Halloween's almost here. The cold front got here already, man. So, you know, it was nice and chilly outside. That Texas heat kind of, giving us a break for once. But there's a few things I wanted to talk about, man. One of them was actually one of your teammates. She just recently fought at the XKO event in Arlington, man. And were you able to catch that fight?
I did, man. I saw that fight. Rain. I wasn't surprised, man. She puts in that work to see where she's come from years ago and seeing how much work she's consistently put in up until now. I mean, I believe that no matter who you put in front of her, she's like she says, she'll bring the fight. She fights like a dog, and that's something that I've always kind of talked about with whenever I was getting hyped up from my coaches back in the day that were telling me to fight like a dog and this and that. That's always been like a very common phrase for me. So to hear her say it, to see being brought, that's just traditional savage, man. She's been doing it, and I have no doubt she's going to keep doing that same thing.
No, for sure. I mean, it wasn't an anticipating match, man, and I'm not quite sure. I know when they first posted the fight, her and her opponent were actually on the undercard. And it wasn't like till later, I guess, towards fight time, man. I noticed they got bumped up to the main event, and they were expecting fireworks, and they brought them. I mean, both ladies were tough as nails, dude. First round was, to me, the first round was even. I mean, they both connected, they both landed, they both stuffed attempts. I mean, it was a pretty exciting match. But somebody like that, man, as far as being an athlete and being where you've been as far as mixed martial arts, training and having that mentality, man. I mean, does that motivate you, man?
Definitely motivating, man, especially to see Rain fight the way that she did, how close the fight was from the beginning and in the middle, and then to see her conditioning stick through, her discipline, her technique. Man, that spinning back fist was beautiful, man. To pull that out at close to the end of the fight, to turn around and get the edge like that, man, that was a beautiful fight. Definitely motivating, and lessons to be taken from. Whenever you see somebody like that, whether it's a teammate or not, to know you got to dig deep, that there's a lot on the line, especially going against such a respected opponent that she had, and then just to put that all to the side and just keep pushing like that, man. Total motivation. Awesome to have somebody like that on the team to continue representing Ohana like the warriors that we are, and just to see her just grind it out, man. That was beautiful, beautiful fight.
It was, man. I mean, for me, I was watching that fight pretty much like everybody else, man. I mean, XKO's been doing pretty good showing the fights, on their website, and they're free, so you can't beat that, But I was watching it, and literally on the third round, I kept thinking to myself, man, she's gonna have to pull a rabbit out of a hat or something, man, because it was too evenly matched as far as the points went. For me, it would have been a tough call for the ref. One of them would have had to been knocked out or choked out the way I saw it, and she did just that, man. I mean, she threw that spinning back fist, she connected, and got that win. So yeah, congratulations to her.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Rain, man. That was awesome. For everybody that helped get her there, and then for our fight team to help keep pushing like that. It's a testament to Ohana, man. And not to take anything away from Rain, whenever she first started off, she didn't she didn't fight like the girl and the woman that she is right now. So again, that's a testament to Ohana, what we do, what we can bring, and as long as you believe in your potential and what you can do, the sky is definitely the limit. So shout out to Rain, man. She put it on. Definitely way to represent and fight like the dog that she is, that she says that she is.
That's it, man. And I know her interview was pretty scary, man. I got scared, bro. I mean, it was intense, her fight was. So, with that being said, man, I mean, the card itself was stacked. I mean, there was a lot of people that I was actually looking forward to, man. And it was a well-put card by the XKO crew. They've always been in Arlington, so I've always been one to bring, promotions here to San Antonio, man. And even, coming up next, not to overtalk, that event because it did happen. They did great. But another one coming here to San Antonio is actually Combate Americas. That's going to be on November 8th. And once again, you have a teammate or an affiliate, sort of as far as with Ray Rodriguez coming up, man. I mean, have you been training with the guy? Have you seen him train?
Yeah, with the judge, man, I haven't like trained too much with them lately, but yeah, we're on the mats training together. We do it quite often whenever we have our staff trainings and we have our super trainings. We always get together and meet. Professor Jason, the guy that's running Ohana, that got it all started for us. He has a beautiful way of getting us all together, especially with everybody that has their talent, and then making us grind. So I don't train with him directly all the time. I'm not like his number one training partner. But yeah, man, the guy's always putting in work. Shout out to Ray. I appreciate you, man. I still got your rash guard in my trunk. I promise you I'm going to wash
Nice.
it and I'll give it back to you. Thanks for letting me use it last week, my man.
No, for sure. Yeah, you might want to give it back, dude, because he starts cutting weight, man.
Yeah.
He might let you have it. No,
Yeah, I don't want the gavel to fall on me, so
Yeah,
I'll get it back to you, brother.
Yes, sir. You see, and that, like I was saying earlier, man. I mean, Combate America coming back. I've always been one to push and promote mixed martial arts. I mean, being that I'm mutual and I talk to pretty much every gym, I mean, I'm open to promote everybody, man. I mean, I do appreciate you, like I said earlier, you are representing Ohana on the wider screen, man. I mean, there's so many fighters coming out of San Antonio. I mean, Texas in general, and there's always a lot of opportunity, man. I mean, with the way everybody's training, I mean, not just in your gym, but I mean, as far as in the sport, man. I mean, how crazy is it? I mean, earlier we were talking a little bit about the ADCC championship, man, and we're talking about the evolution and everybody, as intense and as high level as everybody is, man. It's just getting technical. It's getting dangerous, man. Everybody's going for the kill. I mean, did you happen to catch some of the matches for the Abu Dhabi?
I did, man. I saw some of those matches, and it's crazy. It's getting such the intensity and then the way they're going for the finishes. You can definitely tell that the game's evolving with all these leg locks. I'm no way affiliated with Dean Lister, but the Boogeyman's been doing it for years now.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty cool just to see like the trends that are picking up. But man, Dean Lister's been doing that for a long time, man. The Boogeyman, so
Notorious for him.
Exactly right. So it's really cool. I mean, it used to be one of those like you're like there's they will look at it like a rat, kind of like, you know what I mean? Like they're not, nobody's really happy about that. But now with the game evolving, it's no holds bar, man. Like, there's still very, very few rules that we got to go by, but that's pretty cool just to see the game evolving. I mean, it's only becoming more dangerous, and you got to get more discipline. You got to be able to like watch out for those things.
Yeah,
but that's what comes with the game evolving. Whenever it gets to another level, you can see that, and it doesn't take anything away from like Andre Galvao getting his victory with the takedown and then winning like that. I mean, it takes technique to just do something like that and hold down somebody that's trying to be an ADCC world champion. So I appreciate it and love jiu-jitsu all around whenever it comes from the leg locks all the way to just even a takedown and grinding it out, trying to get into a better spot. But if it only ends up with just 2-0, there's still a whole lot of things that happen from beginning to the end of the match. It's not like you're going to just you see a snoozer whenever it comes to an ADCC championship.
No, yeah, you see, and that's one of the things, I guess, I mean, me, yourself, coming from the grappling aspect, I mean, people think, you're up there or you're on your guard or they don't see you working. But, I mean, it's like every muscle in your body's, working to get positioning or get dominance, man. And it's a workout, man. I mean, like we were saying earlier, not to go back to the Rain fight, as far as her XKO, but I mean, her opponent had her against the cage for the most of the second round, and I could tell it tired her out, just her trying to get out of there and just, I mean, the pressure, and I mean, I got tired just watching it, man. It was frustrating. So I mean, something like that, I mean, yeah, I mean, at that level, it's got to be, a lot of people, your everyday people aren't going to be able to notice and see the work that's going into trying to get an attack or defense or other, man, but you got to give respect where credit is due, man. I mean, that's
And one thing I did want to touch base on Rain's fight is that she was going against a game girl, the lady from Paris. Like everybody thought that she was definitely going to outclass Rain, and that just goes to show like it's not the size of the dog in the fight in a way. You know what I mean?
No,
she
yes, sir.
came ready and put all that bullshit to the side. She was ready to fight, and man. Look at how close the fight was. You can't have a mentality of thinking like this person's better than me and then walk out with a victory like that. She knew what she could do, She believed in herself, and man, that's a lot of what we try to do around here, trying to break those barriers with people. And like, you know, you can teach somebody all the technique in the world and get them conditioned, but I mean, you really can't teach somebody will. That's something that you got or you don't.
I mean, because in the fight itself, man, I mean, she could have easily given up, you know, earlier on in the second round, because I mean, the position she was in, I mean, I saw her frustration, and I was thinking, man, a lot of people would have given up and been like, you know what, like, they would have been broken down. You know, they would have been mentally, they would have given up. So the mind quits, man. The body follows, right?
That's the truth, man.
So I mean, that's good, man. I mean, I like that aspect. I like that forefront that you're pushing, man. Because if you tell yourself you can do it, then you can. You know, I mean, if not, don't give up. You know, don't quit.
There's the two people in the world, right? They say is nothing. I wish I could make up some awesome quotes, but again, just things that I hear and I run with. But there's two people in the world that believe that they can't, the people that believe that they can, and they're both right. So,
yes, sir.
You know, starts with that mindset. Again, shout out to Rain. Shout out to Ray. I know he's gonna go out there and he's gonna do his thing. He's gonna kill it. And another guy that stays real disciplined, true to the game. Whether it's an affiliate or a training partner or anything like that, he's a brother, man. So I've known him ever since back in the day whenever I started 10 years ago, and he was already doing it before me, training at another gym together. And then, you know, it's awesome just to get back, cross paths again, both of us at Ohana, and then he's still doing his thing, branching off, and then just being the amazing person that he is, both in the MMA world and out of it too, man. He's a great person.
No, you see, and that's another cool thing, man. Just earlier, I was talking to an old training partner of mine, and Richard Miles, and I mean, he started training again, and we just kind of reminisce about the old days. I want to say this is like back in 2002, 2004, and we spoke exactly about that, man. I mean, about the you know, everybody. When we started, or when I started, I was like 23 or 24, man. So I was already older. You know, there's a lot that I guess I had an advantage in as far as you know, I used to always work outdoors, man. So my strength, my balance was always a little bit better. And
awesome tan.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the little blue collar tan, man. And the thing about it, like we're like, man, all these kids. I mean, look we're here at your school, at your academy, man. You're about to teach, and you got kids out there, man. And I'm thinking, dude, at that age, I was at home trying to, you know, balance my cereal on my lap and my bed, you know. And I mean, to be able to see them this early, man, it's pretty cool, man. I mean, I dig it. You know, it's like, I mean, can you imagine them like in 10 years, man?
Man, I mean, it's cool. We got some kids that are already like learning jiu-jitsu, but then there's one boy, and his name's Roderick. He was doing taekwondo or karate, one of those, and awesome striking, like stand-up point fighting. And he's amazing. The kid can kick me in the head, and he's like 7 years old. You know, he's still very young. And to see him run with jiu-jitsu, take it and just like run with it, it's a whole different world that's going to be around in a couple years, man.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, man.
Everybody's going to be like, you know, like Israel Adesanya or something like that. You know, you got these guys that are just like very well versed almost everywhere, and it's really cool, man. Like the game's evolving. It's crazy to see it change now, and in another 10 years to see where it can go. It's a beautiful thing, man, especially having full mat of kids that are going to be part of that. They're going to be part of changing that and then running, you know, like the game. They're going to be the forefront of it whenever it comes time for the evolution, and they might even be the ones causing the evolution. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, for sure, man. I mean, like you said earlier, I mean, them being that young, I mean, a lot of them are like sponges, man. They're just soaking in all that knowledge, and you know, I wish I could, man. I mean, at my age, man, my brain's too you know, it's too polluted right now, man. But you know, but that's great. I mean, they're young, they're having fun. I mean, definitely, you know, the class is serious. You know, they go in here, they train. You guys do teach technique, man. But I mean, you do make it fun, though. I mean, they want to come back, they want to learn, and pretty much, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys do this here, but at the end of every class, do you guys like talk to the kids? Do you guys go over questions, or how do you guys break down the ending?
Yeah, I ask the questions during the technique whenever I'm showing it, ask them, try to clear things up. At the end of class, I talk to them about expectations, I always praise them no matter what. These kids are 1% compared to the rest of the kids that are at school. They might play a lot of games at home. Hopefully some of those kids are still getting, hopefully all of them do, but not all of them are getting outside with Fortnite and all that stuff and all that crap they got going. But these kids, they're 1% of like the general population. So we talk to them about like the importance of that. Anti-bullying. Don't be a bully yourself, but stand up for yourself. Stand up for those people that don't know how to defend themselves and stop things and be in control of situations. For instance, right now, we got our word of the month is defeat. So knowing what defeat is, tasting that, and then realizing that doesn't mean failure. If you learn from it, then that's even better than if you were just to not have a lesson, or if you even got a gold and you feel like you're perfect, or you end up on the podium and there's like, you're amazing. There's still things to do better at. So whenever you taste that little bit of defeat, whether it's a submission that you tapped out to, or you didn't make it on the podium, and even if you didn't do your homework or something, or you didn't do good on a quiz,
life.
You fix it, and then you become a better person. And it's amazing to see these kids so disciplined, having fun, and then knowing that they're going to be amazing people as long as they stick to it and they keep those things in mind. Man, again, the sky's the limit. Just like with rain, like it's amazing to see it with kids and to see how much more, how exponential it will be whenever it's time for them to shine even more.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, and even like earlier, man, you had talked about her training in general. Like, for me, I guess, and I think we talked about it on the first episode, man. And it was when I had first seen her, it's just like, I mean, you look at a gym and you look at a class, there's like 60, 70, 80 people, and you never really expect, everybody to want to be a fighter or be a competitor, or some people go on there just to stay in shape. But I mean, when I first saw her there, I just thought, what? I mean, just like everybody else, she just wanted to train, man. A lot of people, they get into mixed martial arts or just jiu-jitsu or any form of martial arts just to lose weight or get out of the house. And it's interesting how something gets fed and they take it and they go with it, because who would have known? I don't even know. I'll talk to her soon enough, man. But who would have known if she would have even taken that path or just been like, you know what, I'll just do grappling, or I'll just go ahead and keep attending class. And, like you said earlier, having these kids here, man, I mean, some of these guys could be in the Abu Dhabi championship, 2050, man, or 2040,
right.
Who knows, man. But, it's a cool feeling, especially, I mean, you watching them this early in age and then growing with them. Because, I mean, you're a father yourself. I mean, your kids, when they get to that age, man, like, you get to relive everything. You get to, watch cartoons. You get to go to the park and, just do a lot of the stuff that, maybe a lot of kids didn't do at their age, man.
Well, but now I got an excuse to keep doing that.
No, yeah, man. It's a good feeling. For me, even now, like I have 2 daughters, man, and we go to the movies or we want to watch a movie and right away they already know I want to watch a cartoon, man. I want to watch something and they're like, Dad, I know you want to, and I do, man, because with them it's just something, that we've always done. I mean, my oldest is in college right now and it's kind of, I miss them, they're not home as often, but it's like, I mean, we raise them the best we can, and we just hope that, they follow, man.
Man, you're doing the right thing, man. You already got them in college, but like, I can't picture your kids messing around and then messing up a good opportunity, especially knowing how hard you work, living out, pretty much living outdoors, in Texas, making that happen and making it a possibility for them. If your kids are already in college, they know what you sacrificed to get there, and those are those kinds of lessons that we're trying to instill with these kids, that nothing comes easy. But everything worth having is worth fighting for. There's no shortcuts any place worth going. So
not at all, man.
I know your kids are gonna make you proud. I'm sure they already do, and I don't think there's gonna be
man. I mean, they
too big hiccups.
already. My youngest, man. I tell her, I saw her the other day, dentist appointment. I got to be dad for a while, but it's just like, I mean, they've already accomplished, or she's already accomplished more than I have in the 9th grade, man. I mean, in 9th grade, I was trying to, wake up on time to go to school and skateboard and do everything else. But I mean, I see her and I'm like, man, I mean, she's already got her head on straight. She motivates me. I want to do more stuff. I mean, they're the ones that are like, Dad, you should do this. Why don't you do this? You liked it, and then, and that's kind of why this came into play, man. I want to have fun with life. I mean, life. We only get one, here on Earth, man. So I definitely want to enjoy it. I want to talk to good people like yourself. I want to talk to see what everybody else has going on in the world, man. But not to cut it short, man. I know you got class, but I did want to bring up one more fighter, man. You got another training partner in Jacob. landed, man. He's actually going to be fighting on the same day as Ray. I was reading on November 8th for Bellator.
Yep.
So, I mean, how cool is that? I know that's his second fight in the promotion.
Man, that's crazy. It's awesome. Again, it's like, not to sound like Nate, but I'm not surprised. Like, you know, I mean, our organization as a whole, man, we're breeding some pretty crazy talent, and like, to kind of touch base on what you said earlier, like all the scenarios, they might end up right. So you can be in the perfect storm and just happen to be in the right place at the right time. But for those people like Ray, like Rain, like Patrick, you know it in your mind what you're trying to do. So you don't find an excuse to not show up. You make a reason why you're going to do it. And those are the reasons why I keep those guys around and keep them in my close circle, because they're not like what Professor Jason always says. They're not campers or quitters. Those guys are climbers. No matter what happens, they're going to better themselves. So I know Patrick's going to go out there and put on an awesome ass fight. He's gonna kick some ass, and he'll get that W, man. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's Bellator, or if it's Combat America, or if it's XKO, or even the local tournament, you know, down the street. And then it's my 7-year-olds doing it, man. Yeah. We go out there and we're confident with what we do, and that's just the Ohana way, man. Like, we better ourselves in every possible way, and we're confident in what we're learning. We apply it, and we do our best to execute.
No, definitely, man. And I like what you said as far as Jason using that. You know, they're not campers, they're climbers. I like that, man. I might use that later. Jason, thank you for that quote, man.
Yeah, of course.
But you know, on that being said, man, I mean, as far as there was a promotion here locally that happened last weekend. What was the name of that promotion? I don't know, you guys attended.
The promotion last weekend. The promotion that happened last weekend. It was.
Submission grappling. I know, and I saw it earlier, man, and I apologize.
Battlegrounds. The Battleground.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Exactly. That's an awesome tournament in itself. That was one of like a smaller tournament. But those are great learning experiences.
Oh, yeah,
whenever you're first starting out with like the game as far as jiu-jitsu goes, those local tournaments, I mean, they're what helps you understand what to be ready for as you move on. So yeah,
for the bigger show, man.
Small ones, yeah, but exactly, they might be small ones, but whenever it gets to a IBJJF, and then if you translate that into I want to put the gloves on, and then you go into a cage, and then it turns into the lights that you are under, like Rain was. Like, man, it's just it builds off. It's everybody started off as an amateur. Nobody ever just starts off great. But it does start off with having the right mindset, making those decisions, and staying disciplined. And yeah, man, like it's the grappling, the battlegrounds, and that was amazing. I had a couple students that went and competed from West that represented. They represented very well. They kicked ass with Hannah and with my other guy Joseph. Right. They did awesome. So learning like discipline and like the basics and applying it and growing from it. That's where it starts. That's where Ray started. That's where we all started. Of course, you can't skip it.
No, yeah. I mean, and it's a good foundation. I mean, for many, I mean, myself included, man. I mean, the first time I competed in the tournament was actually Phil Cardella, man. He had the Helson Gracie, competition or tournament up in Austin, and for me, it was getting out of my shell and just kind of, competing in front of everybody, because it's. If you're not used to that pressure, man, it kills you, dude. I mean, a lot of people can't deal with it. I mean, Dana White's talked about it from fighting in a regional, fighting, on the B level, and then going and fighting in the UFC, knowing that many more people are looking at you, and it kills a lot of people, man. Not everybody can deal with it, but for sure, getting in these local tournaments, regional, it adds to your portfolio, man. I mean, experience, you got to learn from it, of course. But yeah, man. I mean, I know, and I wanted to bring this up only because I wasn't there, but I was watching on Facebook, man. Everybody was posting, and there was a lot of local schools that attended, man, and that kind of what made it a lot better, because it's like, even though you guys are competing against each other, there's that mutual respect. Everybody's it's like I had read a while back, man. Like it's I hope we all make it. It's just like, I mean. We might as well enjoy it. I mean, going out there, putting yourself on the line and putting your school, putting your experience. I mean, we can't win them all, but like you said, you got to grow from it. Take it as experience. And
I don't mean to pull pages out of every page out of Professor Jason's book, but we fail forward. If we come up short, you learn why, and that's just how you take that on the mat. apply it off the mat, and that's not going to do anything but make you a better version of yourself. And that's what we're here for, you know. That's what it's all about. No matter what our end goal is, whenever you walk through these doors, it's all about being the best version of yourself. So whenever you take these things and then you are disciplined, applying it to your job or to your family or to your relationships, that's what's going to make the difference in the world. I mean, I think, and I have no doubt that you would agree, that's what we need at a time like this, especially in the world that we live in.
Yeah, I mean, so many negative things going on, and I mean, the world seems like it's falling apart. But I mean, another thing that I've heard and I use is, you know, we need to be the change we want to see in the world. I mean, if we don't change ourselves, then, you know, how do we expect other people to, you know, change themselves, man?
Yeah.
So that's a good one, man. I know you're going to be teaching class in a few minutes. I do thank you for your time. Once again, this is SPIDA. This is the Fight Card Podcast. And Billy Bear, anything else you want to say to end this?
No, man, I know we had some more to talk about, so hopefully I see you here in the next couple days.
No, yes, sir. We got it, man. Definitely.
Yeah, man, I know you mentioned a little bit about like ADCC, man. Those were some awesome fights this past week. And yeah, you had some questions about that, some things that we were going to discuss. So I'm looking forward to it. I really wish we had some more time to do it. But, man, thank you for having me. Shout out to everybody at Ohana. Again, congratulations to Rain. Good luck to Ray. And Patrick, we're going to go out there and we're going to smash as we continue to grow together, guys.
Yes, sir. Best of luck, guys. Once again, this is the Fight Card Podcast. Listen up.